Hello guys, today we are at the Meadow Cemetery in Carroll County, Maryland. This is a historic cemetery. I'm going to walk around and explore. The cemetery was originally known as the Roop Royal Cemetery. It was named after two farms that were in the area, the farm of John Roop and Peter Royal. In 1893, it was renamed the Meadow Branch Cemetery. So we'll walk around. It is a pretty big cemetery out here in the farmland. So we'll walk around and see what we can find. Alright guys, I found some graves of the Royer family, who was the founding family of this cemetery. Some more over here. I haven't seen any Roop graves yet. But as you can see, this is really out in the farmland here. You have some corn all the way in the back there growing. And there's still lots of room here for burials. I found the Roop section now, or at least a few of them here. One of them is John Roop, who was one of the founders of this cemetery. I guess that's a marker for his close family, and then there's another one over here with his name on it. And then all down here there are Roops too. And over this way there's one. Back here, right behind the Roop grave, we have another Royer. And more right here. This is still towards the front of the cemetery, right there. This is my first time exploring the cemetery here, but it is a very peaceful cemetery so far. I like the farmland and how quiet it is out here, even though there are apartment buildings literally right on this side of the cemetery. Looking out that way, it's just all farmland. So I'm going to keep walking around and seeing what else I can find around here. Anything interesting, anything of note, and I will show you guys. So as I'm walking a little more into the cemetery, I noticed this grave right here. And this lady was either 98 or 99, depending on what month she was born in. But that's pretty interesting. 1900 to 1999. As I said before, I'm still making my way back, exploring a little more. But if I see anything interesting like that again, I'll let you guys know. Well, I may have just found the world's oldest person. This person was born in 1873 and they never died. This grave is kind of covered under the grass. I'm joking, by the way. I know that person's not alive anymore, but that's kind of interesting to see that on a grave. I like the brick wall this cemetery has also on the side right there. It's a very cool stone wall. I like that. As you can see, there's a road out there, but it's mainly just farmland here. There's also a church across the street. And again, this is the Meadow Branch Cemetery in Carroll County, Maryland. I'm going to continue to keep trying to make my way to the back, see what else I can find. I'm a little farther back now, and right over here is a mausoleum. And this mausoleum is for cremated remains. As you can see, it's a little newer. It's actually pretty nice back here. It's in a nice location. I really like this little mausoleum here. You have the corn fields right back here. And as you can see, it's not full yet. But that's always interesting to see. I mean, a lot of people bury cremated remains, but to have a mausoleum for them here, it's really interesting. As you can see, most of these are within the last 5 years or so. This one right here being February 2021. And again, with cremated remains, you can bury them anytime, technically. You know, you can have them sitting in a house for a few years and decide to bury them, which I think is with this one up here, 2009. I don't think this, it doesn't look like this was here in 2009. It looks really new still, so. Yeah, you know, you got one from 2006. But this is a really cool little mausoleum here. So I'm going to continue to walk back. I want to go all the way to the back. This is obviously newer graves now. There's a lot more open land between graves back there. And there's a whole nother area over on that side. I want to look through and see what else I can find. I'm really liking the cemetery so far, though. It's really peaceful and quiet out here. As I follow the corn here, we're about to be at the back of the cemetery. Let's see what the view looks like from all the way in the back towards the front. If we stand back here where the corn is and just look out. This is definitely a pretty decent sized cemetery, though. So as we look out, this is how it looks from up here. I'm going to keep looking at every gravestone for any interesting things about it or any thing of note. I'll let you guys know if I find anything else. I should also note, this isn't really a paranormal investigating video, but as always, whenever I go to cemeteries, I always have the K2 meter on, just to see if it starts going off at any spots in particular. And I also have the bag of equipment, like the spirit box, in case we start getting a lot of spikes. That way I can, you know, maybe investigate if I think it's a good shot that we'll get some responses. And if anywhere in a cemetery that would be, I would think it would be this section, considering that back here is where all the newer graves are. The people who died more recently would most likely be attached to their bodies still, you know, or their graves. So I'm just going to keep taking in the views and keep walking around, and I'll let you guys know if we catch anything of note here. We're now making our way into the other corner of the cemetery. As you can see, all this right here, all this grass, there's nothing here yet. More corn. There's the back of the cemetery where we just were. So we explore this part, which is also a pretty modern part for the most part. Alright guys, now we reach the back corner of the cemetery, and as you can see, it's a pretty nice view still. And there's still some land over here, which may one day have graves in it. There's still a lot of room in this pretty historic cemetery for burials, and I like it. It's very calm. It's not overcrowded. It doesn't feel overcrowded by any means. There's so many interesting graves to look through and read, going all the way back to the early to mid 1800s to today. Here's a very Very interesting gravestone right here. Very nice. And here's a metal cross. Never seen a grave like this in a cemetery. It's starting to show its age. It says June 11th, 1926, December 20th, 1980. Albert McDaniel. Very interesting. And we have some more McDaniels down here. Some more interesting graves. These little graves here. There's another one, but it's not McDaniel. As you can see, the cemetery is very well kept. All of the graves look to be in good condition. Again, I can't get over how peaceful it is out here with the corn out there and the farmland. It's very quiet, even though right over there are literally apartment buildings. They have some trees though up and everything, so it's kind of still peaceful out here. As we are making our way back towards the front. And this video actually turned out to be a little longer than I thought it would be. But I'm really enjoying exploring the cemetery. I've never been to this cemetery before, so this is my first time exploring. Looks like there's a newer burial. Let's see what the date is here. So June 20th, 2021. That's about not even a month ago from the date of death. I don't know when the burial was. But yeah, I mean, it has flowers. They've died, so I would say, I don't know, a week to 2 weeks ago. About. But yeah, a newer grave here. And we're heading back towards the front gate up that way now. Alright, so as we're entering back to the front of the cemetery gate here, that's pretty much going to do it for this video today. Thanks for coming along with me as I explored the Meadow Branch Cemetery here in Carroll County, Maryland. I really like this cemetery. It's very, like I've been saying throughout the whole video, very peaceful out here. Very quiet. Very well maintained. And I definitely want to come back here and just walk around a little more sometime in the near future, because it's really nice out here. So thanks for coming along on today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, it's Fixed Image saying peace.